Nari just gave me a 5-minute long talking to about how I have not been getting ready yet. So I suppose it's time to get ready. It's kind of weird that she knows when it's time for us to get ready. I think she left me though, after giving me a stern talking to, and I hadn't moved yet. I think she finally gave up. Oh, I hear her. There she is. Hi. Come here. It could potentially be dark by the time we get done, depending on how fast I'm moving. Yeah, could be. So you gotta put your other thing on too. Yeah. Hold on. I don't even have my shoes tied yet. Wasn't expecting you to come over so fast. No. Hold on. There you go. Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to go tomorrow or not. They open at 9. I think we're just going to do it. We're going to try it. Because I didn't get near as much. You can see all the clouds. I didn't get near as much charging on my batteries as I wanted to get done today. So that we can limp our way the I guess it's only 40 miles. 40 miles to the parts store. Better fill my waters up. I would bet I can probably make it. I think if I call them like first thing in the morning, get there by just to make sure that they still have one, like they didn't sell one today. I don't know why they would, but you know, just in case. And then like I said, I don't think it'll take us but an hour to install it, but I don't know, we'll see how we're feeling tomorrow morning. We could stay here at least one more night to let the batteries charge a little bit more, but I don't think we'll have any issues. I think we can make it that far. Take us about an hour to get there. Because this road down here, there's no way I'm driving faster than, 20, 25 on it at the most. Because it is rough. And we got about probably 5 miles to go till we get on the freeway. I wish there was a way I could actually, I would actually feel safer if we waited just a little bit longer for the sun to come out tomorrow morning, as long as it's relatively clear. If it's like today, like maybe wait until 10 or 11 to go, because then I'll be charging while I'm draining the batteries to drive all that way, but we'll see. That's closed up. I just gotta close the back door. Hopefully I don't regret wearing this long sleeve shirt, because the wind is frigid. It is. That's nice. Gosh dang it. I don't know if I'll be able to get this open now. Oh, that was good. I gotta fix my cable though. I forgot I needed to shut my other door. You need a drink before we go? You need a drink? I guess not. She says no. What the heck are you stress yawning about? Did you get yourself all worked up and you're just in a tizzy because you're so excited? I don't know why she's so excited. There we go. Change cameras. So our attempt is to do our little, I was still going to call it a 10K route even though it's 7 miles. Or ish. Like right around that 7 mile. But we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling because my legs are kind of tired. Can only tell us the weekend because it has been very busy in this area all day today. Now, surprisingly, nobody's driven up this road. Not the road we're on. I was pointing off to the left. The one that goes up to the top of the ridge that we're going to come back on. Absolutely nobody on that road, which is weird. But I have heard lots of vehicles down on Bumblebee Road and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure I heard a freaking motorcycle on the Black Canyon Trail down here. And that is not allowed. But the one thing I've noticed in a lot of places is people don't care. It's like, well, I'm not going to get caught, so. I'm almost positive I heard them on the Black Canyon Trail over here. And I think probably I think they came up this road, got to the trail, and then headed down that way, down the trail. We should just poop right there in the middle of the road. If that's the case, I don't think there actually is anything that says they can't ride a motorcycle on there. Even though the whole trail is no motorcycles. If you go this direction like we're turning, it clearly says no motorcycles. And it's all the same trail. They'd probably be like, well, it didn't say this direction I couldn't go. And technically, I think they would be right. And it's on the other end of it, it just says so. I don't know, there is a sign there too. It clearly says, no, we're not going that way, I'm just looking. All right, we're going this way. I was just looking to see if I could see any tracks. Like motorcycle tracks. I can't get close enough to see because she will assume we're going that way down the trail and just take off if I walk over that direction. Oh man, my leggies are tired. Like, they don't feel stiff. They don't feel heavy. It's like a lot of times, you know, my legs feel like I have freaking ankle weights on, but they don't feel heavy. They just feel tired. excited as she was to get going, she's not taking off a mile ahead of me. Although this uphill is kick my ass. That's a motorcycle. Maybe that's what I was hearing. It just sounded like it was way closer. That is what I was hearing though, was that motorcycle. I saw it down on the Bumblebee Road just now going by, so. You know, the funny thing is, I went off, I don't know if you guys remember, I was talking about how I don't think it's, because I see it in the Bob Marshall a lot, and I don't think it's right that helicopters and small planes and stuff should be able to go, like, fly over wilderness areas, you know, like your recreational type people, or, you know, you see it in the Bob a lot because, and so they would rather, you know, pay for like a tour plane or whatever to fly back in there to see it, which is totally legal as long as they're 2,000 feet up above. But I'm like, that shit's noisy. The whole idea of not allowing motorized traffic back in wilderness areas because it disturbs the wildlife and all that kind of stuff. Like, you can't even use people like the Forest Service that work back there clearing trails or whatever. Can't even use a chainsaw. And then, like, I knew this before, that you couldn't fly drones in a wilderness area. And that's why I was always confused, like, why all these people can fly, you know, like a helicopter or a small airplane can fly back there. A drone isn't allowed to. And the reasoning behind it, I mean, one, you're not supposed to fly over 400 feet in a drone anyways, but it's like they consider a drone a motorized vehicle. Well, so is an airplane, so is a helicopter. There's one guy that got in huge trouble at Montana in the Gates of the Mountains because he rode his e-bike back in on some trails into the Gates of the Mountains wilderness area, and he got caught and huge fine. I mean, it's like, what do you mean? You can have mountain bikes on that trail. Yeah, you can. But you can't have motorcycles. Well, this isn't a motorcycle. What does an e-bike have on it? An electronic motor. So it's a motorized vehicle, dumbass. Like, I'm even that person that I have no issues with people that have e-bikes, especially if they're using it for like their commute to work and stuff. But I don't think you should be able to ride an e-bike on like a sidewalk or paths, like bike paths where you're not allowed to have a motorcycle, because it is a motorized vehicle. I say the exact same thing about like those e-scooters even. They have an electronic motor on them. Even those shouldn't be allowed to be in those areas. That's just my thought on it. Although I would trust somebody more on an e-bike for sure than those scooters. Man, I've seen just some people that are just plain freaking stupid. And they'll have that thing floored going down a sidewalk. And, people will be coming out of stores, like storefronts, that are open up to the sidewalks and stuff like that. Just get knocked over by those people on those freaking e-scooters. Okay, well, it's a good thing we started early because it's going to take me a while this morning, tonight, this evening. Oh, it's kicking my ass. And I got to climb. I always talk about the dead zone. Well, one of them is on the backside of this ridge right here. So you can see there's my cell tower right there. And then I'm on this side of the ridge climbing up all the way up there. And it sucks because I try and go up it as fast as I can. That's like a freaking, I don't know, what is that? Like a 12-14% grade. So if I'm in like really good shape, then it's not a huge deal. It's just a nice workout. But when I am not in good shape, it's a rough deal. I'll buy something to scratch my leg. Not enough like, to scratch, but now my leg itches. So it feels like something's there the whole time, even though it's not. Definitely had FOMO for not being able to race this morning. And it doesn't help that I've been watching freaking Desert Solstice off and on throughout the day. And it's a race that I've been trying to get into for, 3 years now. And you have to qualify. It's an invitational. You have to qualify. And then you put in an application. And they will invite you. Well, the race I've been doing to try and qualify, I've DNF'd for 2 years in a row now. And that race is the race I'm doing, my next race, jackpot. So this will be the third year of me trying to qualify for that race. If anything, just because I think it would be a unique challenge. Okay, I need to. There is zero breeze here now too. So here I put a freaking long sleeve shirt on because I was freezing my ass off over by the van. And now I'm just getting baked with my long sleeves in the sun. And now I'm on the back side of the ridge. So I gotta kind of push it. And this is just one of the dead zones. There's still another one. It's even, I would say, even worse than this. Actually, this is probably the worst one because it goes the longest. Bathroom break. Oh, she's done. Whew, I guess she didn't have to get a drink. I mean, she made it this far, she had to pee. She must be well hydrated. Like she was, I still tell you how freaking cold that wind was. After that breeze kicked up, I was under a blanket with a sweatshirt on, and she went up into the cab to lay in the sun because the back of the van was too cold. Okay, we're almost back into signal. Okay. Let's take the signal again. I have one aside at least. Oh. Oh yeah, we got signal back. Yay. Whew. Okay, that was way harder than it should have been. My heart is beating. And the next dead spot is right up here. We have to go up this. My dog. I wonder where she was. I heard she was way up forward here somewhere. It's funny how sometimes she'll just follow the trail like that, and other times she just goes off and cuts the trail however she feels fit. Ooh. I got the burps. Whew. I ate sensibly today. I was proud of myself. I had for breakfast, figured out a way. I found my smaller frying pan, so I actually cooked my English muffin, just toasted it in a pan this morning, and then a little bit of Nutella on there, and then for a mid-morning snack I had an apple And then lunch was just a can of soup. And that was it. And then I've drank a lot of water today because I can tell I was dehydrated from the last couple days, and I still feel dehydrated. Alright guys, let's get through this dead zone before I lose the train. Oh man, legs are so tired. The reason why this one feels harder to me is because the top is like right there. So if you just went to the right a little bit, back there we would have been done. Up in the signal again. And no, it just keeps going to the left and staying right below it. And it's way more eroded than that other section too, which is hard to run in. Whew, even right now. Well, I guess I do have line of sight. I was gonna say, even right now I don't have line of sight. I feel like I'm at the top. I do. Some towers right there. It's not a great signal, but at least it's right there. And then this one you think, oh, like right there. That's the top. No, as you can see where she's at. No, we turn left. Still. In fact, we come way over here before we go back that direction. And then we should have, well, there's no should. We have signal the whole rest of the way, other than a few pockets here or there. Like there's two little gulches we go back into for like 20 seconds that I don't have signal, and then up on top there's, once we get on top of the ridge, there's like a small little area there too. At least we're in the shade now. That's nice. Oh, my legs are tired. Whew. Like, this is only maybe like a 3 or 4% grade, but trying to run it, my legs feel like they're on the verge of muscle failure. And the views would be way better if we were on the other side of this ridge. Okay, now we at least jump over what's left of this ridge onto the other side now. And it's still uphill, but not as dramatic. Not that it's dramatic at all, but still. A 3% grade is not a lot. And now we're sitting at probably like a 1% or 2%. Although there are some parts up here that get a little steep until we hit the high parts. And then even after that, we still have uphill. Every time we go back into a little draw, you drop down into the draw and then you climb back out of it. It looks like, I don't know if my plan was to go up by Williams, but I think we might be forced to go down to that other area because there is a atmospheric river next week. More towards the end of next week. It's supposed to hit California, and with that it's going to push moisture into northern Arizona. Actually, it looks like it's even going to go all the way down to Phoenix, really. So I don't really want to be up on the freaking plateau if it's going to snow, but I don't think it'll snow too bad. So I don't know. I'll wait until tomorrow's weather forecast and find out what it's supposed to do. Because wherever we go to, I don't feel like I don't want to go somewhere for 3 or 4 days and then have to move again, because of the weather. I just want to go sit somewhere for 2 weeks and get some good miles in. Slow down so she can catch up. I don't even notice that she knows where I'm at. No, she's trying to choke on something. Slow down. All right, slow down. She was trying to eat something because she tried to take off running to catch up to me, even though I was going slow, so it's not like she had to rush. And then she choked on it. She just got over whatever the hell she had wrong with her. So I don't know. Like, why are you doing that? You don't need to go right back into it yet. Probably gonna come out of here. She's probably gonna have another ear piercing like she did the other night. We got back to the van, and after we ate dinner and everything, I was looking at her ear and I could see she had a cactus needle in her ear. And so I went to grab her ear, and then I saw that it went all the way through her ear. It's like, why are you giving yourself an ear piercing? and she's just like, you know, laying there. She even had her the weight of her head on her ear, you know, and she's just like, whatever. Till I pulled it out, then she was like, hey, that hurt. And then just laid her head back down again, like 20 seconds after that. Like, okay. Oh, man. Actually, I think, yeah, this is our high point right here, right where that bush is. So now we have, well, high point on the single track. So now it's mostly downhill until we hit that other road, which is what we're going to take to climb up on the ridge. And then we'll come back down the road over next to our camp spot, which is what we came down yesterday. Maybe? All of a sudden I'm like, did I grab my headlamp just in case? Because that road coming down, if it's starting to get dark, is not fun. It's easy to trip, and it's steep. So when you trip, you nosedive or tumble, or you know, there's no catching yourself, that's for sure. There's some cool air here. It feels like a freaking air conditioner, as sweaty as I am. Big old mining claim right here that starts up on top right over here to our left, and then you can see all the trash and everything down there, where they have a little thing set up there as well. So it's like, if you're going to, and I wouldn't doubt a lot of this trash probably was, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the water was swept down the canyon or ravine there from up top by water. I went down it. But the top part of that is when we get up here another half mile or so, where that road is, that old Jeep trail. It's not even a road, it's a Jeep trail that goes up. The top of that is at the top of that little ravine. And last year, people that have that mining claim were up there working on it, and they had like a huge setup. It's like, and they were there for like the whole time I was here. Which then makes me wonder, like, me as a recreational camper, I come out to these areas in the BLM and National Forest Service land, and you can stay up to 2 weeks. And then the way the law is, you have to move somewhere else with at least 60 miles away, and you're might be 45 miles away, something like that. I think it's 45, because the 60 is then you have to be gone for 60 days, like a month. So, or a month. Yeah, you have to be gone for a month, so it's 30 days. So maybe it is 60 miles. So it's not like you can go away for 2 weeks and then come back for 2 weeks and then go away for 2 weeks. You actually have to, if you're doing it, you have to. You can go somewhere for 2 weeks. This is why it amazes me, some of these snowbirds, all the crap that they have with them. Because you have to sit somewhere for 2 weeks, or you can up to 2 weeks, and then you have to move somewhere else, at least 60 miles away, and you can sit there for 2 weeks, and then you have to go somewhere else, another 60 miles away, and you can sit there for 2 weeks, and then you can go back to your original area. And that's why if I'm going for like a mountain race, if I'm training for a mountain race, I come in this area for 2 weeks and just run around the foothills of the Bradshaws here and around Black Canyon area, because he's a pretty good bird and it's a long miles. And then I'll go down to like the Madera Canyon area, Mount Wrightson Wilderness area, and then be there for 2 weeks running around those mountains. And then I will usually go over to, say, the Mount Graham Wilderness area and run around there for 2 weeks, and then wander back this direction or somewhere else. I do really like running around here though. So if I'm going to be here for a while, which I'm hardly ever in Arizona for more than 30 days, because usually I'm either working somewhere else or I'm going back to Montana, whatever it happens to be. Of course, if I'm going somewhere else, usually I'm making a trip back to Montana too, just to pick up my mail and do a full reset, that kind of stuff. And it's like last year, the so-called snowbird season. And again, I am not a snowbird. I go wherever I can run. Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, it don't matter. Just like, look at, usually the last race I end up working is usually Javelina for the year. And then, so like last year after Javelina, I think I stayed here for maybe like 2 weeks after that. And I got here right before. And I stayed maybe 2 weeks. And then I had to go back to Montana. I was back in Montana for like a month because I had to have everything moved out, fix a few things because I was getting ready to rent it. And then, gosh dang, I cannot believe it's the weekend and there's nobody out here camping. That's just crazy. So I went up to Montana and then I came back down here like the last week of December. And then because I was down here, I commentated for Across the Years. And then right after Across the Years, we were in Texas. Like we drove over to Texas because it was USATF cross country nationals. So we competed there, and then we, like a week later, because we took our time, I had no reason to just haul ass anywhere. So we came back to Arizona like a week later. So now you're second week of January, and then we were here for maybe 2 weeks, and then I had to go back to Montana, and then so now we're into the first part of February, and we came back down here a good, well, it was a 3-week build up, or a 3-week training block before Black Canyon. So I was here at the beginning of February, and then right after Black Canyon we had to haul ass back to Montana so that I could drop this butt head off, and then I turned right around and drove down to Vegas, down to Nevada, and I was in Nevada for like 4 or 5 days. I had to go back up to Montana to pick her up, and then the weather wasn't too bad, so we stayed up there for a little bit, then came back down to Arizona. Now we're into March, like later half of March. We came back down here, hung out down here because I was working a race again, and then, which was at the beginning of April, and then we left here to go over to California to work a race over there, and then came back here because I don't know, I cruised back to Montana because now we're getting towards the end of April. Cruised back to Montana because I need to drop her off, because now I'm getting ready to race Cocodona, which was back down here in Arizona. So Cocodona was over, and I cruised right back up to Montana to pick her up, and then we were in Montana for almost a month, and then we had to go down to California to work Western States, and then and I dropped her off in Montana, left her in Montana, just because, like Western States was tough on her 2 years ago, so I didn't want to have to have her go through that again. So then we went. So then after Western States, I went back to Montana to pick her up, and had to immediately head straight down to Colorado. And then I was in Colorado for 3 weeks, and then left there, went back to Montana, and then was in Montana for like 2 weeks, and then actually no, I was in Montana for a month. All of August I was in Montana, and then the first weekend of September back in Colorado for a weekend, or for a week, and then up there I went back to Montana. I was back in Montana for about 2 weeks, and then I was heading to California again. Geez, this last year, 2025, I spent quite a bit of time in California, like a week for Lake Sonoma, 2 weeks in June for Broken Arrow and Western, and then 2 weeks into September for Mammoth Trail Fest, and then the next week I was racing, so at the Mammoth 200. Okay, well, we're almost to our climb up onto the ridge. Whew, I am just kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Like, I feel tacky, you know, like you've been sweating enough. Not like where the sweat's pouring out of you, you're just wet. But then it's cool. It's like the air is cool now, since we're not in the sun. And so it's like, it makes me think of a swamp cooler. That's how I feel. I feel like the swamp cooler. Or when you use like AC and it's really humid out. Even. Which is essentially what a swamp cooler is anyways. But, oh. Not looking forward to this climb. But once we get on top, I mean, we still have climbing up on the ridge, but once we get on top, we'll do better. Looks like we shouldn't be close to the actual sunset, but looks like there's enough clouds that, oh, we are about, we're less than 20 minutes out. That sun is gonna be, we're going down on the dark, that's for sure. What if I have my headlamp? God dang. Have we really been running for, oh, I didn't get going for a long time. Okay. I look at my watch and I'm like, have we really been running for over an hour? No, we haven't. Like, I went live almost an hour ago now, I guess. We're going up. No, Nari, I pointed this direction. Yeah. She looked at me. She's been pretty good about when I point to know what direction I'm pointing. She looked straight at me. I pointed, and then she was like, okay, we're going straight. No. I think that was more of a, she knew what direction I pointed, but she wanted to make the decision, you know, to go, she wanted to go the direction she wanted to go. Hope. Yeah, it feels like I do. Feels like I have my headlamp. Oh. I had more oomph in me today, I could run this a least for a little bit, but once we get up here, we'll run to the campsite, which is truly might actually be my favorite campsite, just because of location and your options of running. Like, you can either do a 10K loop, you can do a, what is it, like almost a 5-mile loop, you can do a 10-mile loop. If you want to just do a, I guess you could say an out and back, like go from here down to the trail, take the trail all the way up to the top of the plateau, all the way to the road crossing, and then come back. That's like a 15-mile out and back. But if you want to make it spicy, then you come back once you hit the road down here, come back on the backside of this ridge, up and over and come down. And it's still like right around 15 miles, but you get an extra, like, what, maybe 700-800 feet of vert. Ooh. As far as campsites themselves go, I really like where I'm at right now because you have great views. You can see the Bradshaws. Like here, you can't see the Bradshaws. They're on the other side of this ridge. Whew, I didn't make it to the campsite. I forgot this is still uphill. It looks flat. It's still uphill. But there, you don't have a lot of options. Like, you're not that far away from the single track, but there's really only one way you can go. So you're either doing a loop like we're doing today, or you're doing an out and back. It's really your only two options. But also, you don't get a lot of traffic right by your campsite. Here, you get, even though it doesn't look like there's been but maybe one person on here in the last week, but you can get a lot of people, especially on the weekend, driving up here. And you're parked right off this road right there, right next to it, like 10 feet. And so that's awkward when people go driving by. Or like that one day, freaking people like parked their vehicles. Like clearly we were camped out. You know, we had we didn't have our back door open, but the side door was open and you could see it. And they went and just sat there because there's a little turnaround point there. And they just sat there, two vehicles, deciding what they wanted to do next. Just sat there for like, vehicles running and everything. For like, I don't know, probably 5 minutes while they discussed what they wanted to do next. It's like, go somewhere else and decide. Why are you parked right there? Like, you had capable vehicles. They could have came up here further. There's lots of places here they could have parked. Although nothing floors me like when we were up in the Uintas and we were back at the end of that forest road, probably like a mile off the main road. Probably, I don't even think it was a mile actually. clearly a dead end. And we were camped out there, and some dude, and I'm guessing it's probably his wife, came rolling in, parked their truck, and then got out, walked right through our camping area, and walked back into the trees. And it's like, he looked like he was probably, I don't know, like he had camo on and a gun. I don't know what he was shooting back then though, because it wasn't hunting season. And then about, and there's no trail. Like there was a pretty well established, it wasn't even a game trail, it was a cattle trail. So it looked like an actual trail. There's no trail, I didn't go anywhere. And a couple hours later, here they come, walking straight through my campground area here again. Hopped in the vehicle and then left. It's like the nerve of like some people. It's like, who does that? Like, I get it if you were like, say, at a trailhead camped out, even though you're not supposed to be camping at trailheads, but some people do. Like if it was a trailhead, you know, whatever. But it was just a dead end road. And there's lots of dead end roads around there. Like forest roads. In fact, the one we found was like, because we kept going down them trying to find a campsite. And a lot of them were taken. That was the first one we came to that wasn't taken, actually. Whew. That was just weird. And then there was the time we were up here, camped out at that spot there as well. And I don't know, just a little sus. The day before, we did the out and back up to the plateau. And when we came back through the lower road crossing here, where the pond is, some guy was sitting there in his truck, and like we just ran past him, and then she needed a drink, so she went over to the pond to cool off and get a drink. And then as we were leaving, this guy slowly puts his vehicle into gear and slowly is like driving out of the parking lot. And then we cross the road to get on the single track coming this way. And that guy crosses the road and then is just like pretty much driving down that road, which parallels the trail for about a quarter of a mile, matching our speed. And that was a little weird, but then eventually the trail goes off, so I was like, whatever. Well, then the very next day, that exact same truck came up this road. Oh, he's trying to find a bunny rabbit. And he ended up like parking just high enough on the road. There's no parking spot there. Like he made his own parking spot just high enough on the road to where he could see me, and then just parked right there. and sat there for like 3 hours until he finally left. And it's like, dude, can you be any more suspicious? Like, what the hell is your deal? Like, I didn't feel unsafe because I have protection, but it's like, what are you doing there, bud? Oh, things you see out here. I'll get my dog down here looking for the rabbit that is way up here. Oh, she must have caught the scent because now she's following the path that the bunny rabbit made. But it was like, I saw it. It's probably up in the prickly pear bush up here somewhere, unless he's taken off since then. Oh no, she caught his scent. It must have ran off again. Because she started coming up here, and then all of a sudden she took down the side of the mountain again. Down into the ravine. Oh man. This climbing. Whenever I feel like I do today, I always have two reactions. One is that guy that did that voiceover video meme, the original, one. People have used that for the soundbite for so many things now, but he's like, "If you hill, stupid little hill," going off yelling at the hill. So I have that thought. And then I also think of it came from one of the Naked Gun movies, I think the first one, where Frank Drebin was, his phrase for the cops to come in was, "I love it." Well, the guy's giving him a freaking search, and he has his hands down in his pockets and everything, and he keeps saying, "I love it. I love it." So that's the other thing I keep saying to myself. I love it. Waiting for somebody to bust in and save me. I love it. I haven't watched that movie forever. I should watch it. Those were back in the day when definitely not. They didn't give a damn, definitely not politically correct, any of that kind of stuff, type of humor. And it's like, you should just be able to laugh, It's like Mel Brooks and his movies, are just hilarious and definitely not politically, you'd never get away with doing movies like that nowadays. That was one important thing about them at the time, was the fact that, it was in a lot of ways a political statement, but hilarious. Well, I did bring the drone, so I think we will try and maybe do one drone shot. I don't know. It'll just be B footage. I don't know, maybe I'll cut it, edit it to make an Instagram reel or something, but it'll be mostly just for B footage. think the lightning will be pretty good. I hope, with the way the clouds are. I mean, the sun is not quite down yet. I can look over here at the wilderness area to the east of us, and the very tippy tops of the mountains are still have a little bit of sunlight on them, but I don't know what time it is, but we should be really close to 2 minutes until sunset. I don't even know if my chat is working. I'm gonna turn we'll turn the map off. I'm gonna turn this on just in case, because I never know with this dashboard anymore. Oh man, this is steep. Oh. I ate a handful of carrots, I guess, for a mid-afternoon snack, and they're starting to burp up a little bit. I'm not gonna take the drone out though until we at least get up on top of that. Wait until we get, I'd like the best place to do it would be over on that other ridge line, but oh, for the views, actually going back this other direction up here would be a great ridge shot, but we're not going that direction. Finally was like, wait a minute, is that guy still coming? Yeah, I am. I'm coming. Yeah, I told you I was coming. Is this you trying to give me encouragement? Huh? You probably need a drink. I'm gonna give you a drink really fast. Or not. We're going the other way. Why do you keep wanting to go that way? That takes us further away from the van. We're going this way. You fool. You fool. You need a drink? Let's get up here. Because if I'm gonna take my vest off to get you a drink, then I'll pull the drone out too. But we got still some more climbing to do. And this little part right here is, it's just gotten, the rock has just gotten broken up over the last month. It used to be just pretty much like solid rock, and now it's like loose ankle breakers with a lot of dirt. So it's kind of soft. So your feet move back about an inch when you're trying to step up. Oh, if only to be an elite and be able to run up this thing. Not even an elite. Like, freaking, I guarantee a girl I know, Lindsay, would be able to run up this. And I mean, she's a really good runner, but she's by far not an elite. Like, I bet you if she had put her mind to it when she, because she's my age, so like 20 years ago, if she had been training how she is now, she probably could have been up there in elite status based upon what she can do now. But she hasn't really been doing a lot. So, I mean, it's for many years, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, well, we're not into, we're still not in official sunset, so we can put our drone up. Oh, look at that. The colors. That's so cool. Whew. Okay, where's my dog at? There she is. She needs a drink. Okay, come here, girl. Get you a drink. Yeah, I'm gonna get you a drink. Yeah. Okay, hold on. You jamming your face in the pocket does not help.
Direction track. Follow. Medium. Follow. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's get going. Now that we can actually run, oh, look at them colors. My goodness. That's so cool. Deep poop. like, why are you running so fast? I should have been on the SD already. Well, that was fun. Oh wow, the colors are just starting to get so freaking awesome. That direction. good because it'll give me a chance to get my headlamp out too. That was a pretty good run too. I felt good. But I definitely tell my legs are tired. Okay, got our headlamp accessible now. So we put that on later if we need. I'm not gonna put it on now because I'd have to put it pretty tight for this downhill section, and I don't feel like having it that tight because it'll hurt the head. Wow, look at that. That is so fucking cool. Sorry, I had to put the freaking take a picture because that's so freaking beautiful. So pretty. Okay. Now after staring at that over there in the sky, looking back this direction, I'm like, God dang, it's dark. Not for you guys though. For me it sure is. I have to put my headlamp on. Oh gosh dang, I got friggin' it's not rolling down my face for some reason. Well, not for some reason, but whenever I push myself as hard as like that last time, that last little mile, of course my nose is more runny. I can't really see where the dirt is on these rocks, so I gotta take careful. Oh, I need to put her light on. Hey, Nari, can you come here for a second? Before you get too far, come here. Nari, come here. Come here. Come here before you go too far. I want to turn your light on. She's like, well, why do you keep running my direction? Hey, come here. So I can turn your light on. Well, that didn't help. There you go. Good job. Good girl. Because she just blends in with this, most of the dirt and the road and everything here. So until I put my headlamp on, I would not be able to see her. With my headlamp on, she just freaking pop because the reflective on her vest is super bright. Cool. Go down here a little bit more and then I can put my headlamp on. I think I can go another, maybe over to this next steep section before I have to put my headlamp on, because then we're closer to the mountain, so it gets darker as well. Whew. It's going to be interesting to see. So there is no reason why that should have been using internal storage. That should have only been an SD card. So why was it not? Probably because the last time I flew it, I didn't have the SD card in, so it was already defaulted to there. The only way I can change it is to connect to it with my controller and then tell it to change. That dark. Problem is the rocks are the same color as the road, a dark gray. So you can't even see the freaking, see where the rocks are. But if I had my headlamp on right now, it's still just light enough that the headlamp wouldn't do a whole lot to help with that. Oh, we're not even close to the other. I thought this was our corner for the last like super steep downhill. Nope, it's not. It's up here further. So we still got actually another slight uphill even. Smooth by any means either. Your foot is like having to bend back and forth and all that. Whew. Okay, we can do this. Tonight I earned myself some hot cocoa for dessert tonight, I think, which is kind of funny. Like, I'm not really gonna buy myself like hot cocoa. Like, I'll usually keep like, you know, what is it, like a 4-pack of like Swiss Miss or something, with little packets in my van. But I don't usually, you know, buy like a huge can of like hot cocoa. And anyways, at Mammoth, one of my crew / pacers, he doesn't drink coffee, so he drinks hot cocoa. So they bought, when my other crew person bought him this huge can of hot cocoa, and then they left it in my van. I was like, well, I'm not going to use that. That thing is almost gone, because since it got to be more, you know, winter time, I'm like, oh, a little thing of hot cocoa is actually quite nice. I haven't had any this week, but I was having a lot of it the last month up until then. Like almost every night I was having a cup of hot cocoa, mostly because it was freezing. But you guys remember, like even here, the last time we were here, which was over a month ago, it was freaking, the highs were in the 40s, and it was rainy and drizzly. It was definitely hot cocoa weather. I drank a shitload of hot cocoa. It's kind of crazy how that cool air, how different it smells versus what's been, you know, the smells throughout the day. And you get that cool air, and it almost feels like, or it almost smells kind of like, I don't know, what would you call it, musty, like kind of damp, dirty type smell. It's quite refreshing. back or not. I'm gonna have to put my headlamp on. It looks bright for you guys, but I don't know if I can really. This is how dark it really is. If I shine up in the sky, which is not bright by the way, that is how dark it really is. If you saw that, how the ground and stuff underneath. But the ISO is cranked to the max on the camera right now, so it looks way brighter than it is. Now, after we got done with the drone, after the sun went down, I guess now that I'm running this again, I can see why this is actually shorter than if you take the single track. Oh, somebody's got their party lights over there, Bumblebee Ranch. I mean, Bumblebee, they rent a lot of side-by-sides, and a lot of them have the party lights on them. I think all of them technically have party lights on them. Now, other people have party lights too, but they all have party lights on them. Just for driving at night. So a lot of people, they go up to the top, Crown King, you know, for the day, eat some burgers, have some drinks, and then they come back down at nighttime. And this time of year, nighttime is like starts at, you know, 5:30. And so they have party lights on. Now most people will come back even later, but wow, look at that view. That is so freaking cool. So cool. Another picture. I'm actually going to put my headlamp on really fast because it is getting quite dark. Set you guys down somewhere, and then I got to plug my camera in too. Okay, put the hat on. And turn the light on. Hi, sweet girl. Oh, hello. I had to put my headlamp on. Yeah. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, no, thank you. I was saying it was a good thing. She whipped around, turned at me like, what are you saying about me? There we go, plug the camera in. We're gonna have to take this really slow because this is so eroded and everything that it is hard for me to see where to put my foot safely. Why are you trying to trip me? She's trying to flat tire me. Go ahead. Like, here, you keep running. I'm going to trip you. Especially when you get into this section where it is freaking hard to see. It's really rocky and uneven. So we'll just take it slow. Oh, geez, I almost tripped right there. Oh, geez, there's rocks. Goodness gracious. What am I doing here? Parkour. Parkour. It almost looks like somebody's coming up this trail. After saying nobody has been up this trail all weekend. Well, I think, 3 days ago somebody came up this trail. All of a sudden I saw headlights come straight at me. I just kicked a big ass rock. But that could be, like, the bottom of this road runs right next to some houses, some private property. So it could have been somebody just coming in their own driveway too. I guess they definitely saw my headlamp and is like, why is there one light up on coming down the road? I don't know, that definitely looks like they're driving up this road. Maybe not. Sure did look like it though. I don't know if we'll be to the turn to go to our van. If they are coming up this road by then, it's okay. I would take it super slow. This is where I will trip and fall. It's so easy. There's nothing but these tiny little rocks. And not tiny, I mean they're sticking up out of the ground by an inch or more. You can clip a toe or catch a heel or you just step on one and it rolls underneath your foot. It's not what I like to be doing when it's this dark out, that's for sure. Those people were down at the other campsite. Maybe they just went to there and then they turned around. Maybe that's what I saw. There's that campsite way down there. That is a pretty nice campsite, but every time I've stopped there, it's like people have just trashed the hell out of it. And I've twice taken the time, I haven't camped there, but I've taken the time to clean it up. I got one of my big trash bags out, parkour, and just filled it up with garbage, cleaning up that spot. I just don't get it. People do that. It's like, do you not see yourself ever coming back to that campsite? Like, are you a one and done type of person? That has to be the mentality people have, is I'm never coming back here again, so what do I care? Me, if I find a good campsite, I'm like, I keep it in my brain. You never know when I might want to come back there again. If it's like a really nice campsite, I actually have them marked in my Onyx maps. Now there's places like this, like my campsite here. It's a really good campsite, but I come here so frequently, it's not like I need to mark it, but definitely not trashing it either. Well, even if it's something I'm staying at for the night and I'll never be back there again, I don't trash it. I just don't understand people. Oh, I'm getting like super frustrated with these. Is that our road? I should have cut across if I knew this was our road. Like things that are popping up on my For You page on TikTok now is like all these AI generated videos that are basically like rage bait, type videos with mostly cops that are out of line. And I'm like, but the AI generated videos are so bad. And it's like, it'll be this, like a true life story. And then they use like an AI generated voice to tell, to narrate the story, the news story. And then in the video, it's like they'll show in the narration, it'll be like body cam footage or whatever. And it's AI generated body cam footage. And then you hear the guy talking, and the audio I think is actually correct on a lot of it. Some of it's not. Some of it's still AI generated. But then the person on the body cam footage you'll end up with like 12 different people for the same news story, thing. And it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. And then one thing I think they need to really stop doing is, which I do know TikTok now has can tell when somebody just reposts like some podcast or whatever. It's not the original video, their user, it's like somebody just takes it and we're gonna post it. So it'll have like a line through it. And then they post like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and it's like, I'm not gonna watch. Like, I know you do that because then it'll click on your page and try and find part 1 or part 2 and 3 and 4. It's like, sorry, I'm not gonna do that. So, and if I want to watch that, I'm gonna go straight to the page of that podcast or whatever YouTube channel or whatever it happens to be. I'm not gonna freaking watch it on yours. I'm gonna support the original. And then people have gotten away from or been doing other stuff to trick the system. Like they'll what do you call it, green screen it, and they'll be like and my personal favorite is the ones where it's just some lady or some guy and they'll be like, watch this, and then they show the original clip and it's like, why did I watch that? And that way they don't have the black line on it. They circumvent that whole system, and they're like, but you didn't tell me why I needed to watch it, and then I watched something and it's like, why did I watch that? Those anymore. Somebody says watch this, I was like, nope, going past it. see the van, but I don't trust. As wobbly as my legs are right now and as dark as it is, I do not trust running. I can't even hardly see the rocks now, even with my headlamp. So we only got another 50 yards to go. Look at that sky though, that's cool. Like I can actually say it looks better on your guys' screen than mine. It's pretty dark on mine. I mean, like I said, I got the ISO cranked all the way up on the camera. And it's nice and cool out too. I do wish there was just a little bit of a breeze. Oh, there's the 7 miles. Yeah, it's exactly 7 miles. That was a slow mile too, 15:45. Oh, so I'm gonna have to cook. So I wish have the side door open and the back door open, get a little bit of a breeze in there, so it's not freaking 100 degrees from cooking. Sweet girl. Oh, what, you want me to take that off? Okay, hold on. Let me take my hat off, take this off. Wait, I can't. When you step forward like that, I can't pull it off over the top of your head because you're just moving forward with it, you fool. Yeah, we have your collar. And I'll take your bell off. Go. Okay, well, that is going to be it, everybody. We are not going for a run tomorrow morning, most likely, because we're going to try and get our alternator taken care of. I don't know, should I give it another day of charge? Maybe. I'd feel better, but it'll also be on a Monday, so it'll be busier. And by busier, I mean like road traffic will be busier and all that. I don't want to feel weird trying to do stuff. Like if I break down, I don't want to be stopping traffic, you know, type of thing. But I don't know. I'll make the decision tomorrow morning when I wake up if we're gonna do it or not. But anyways, that's gonna be it, everybody, for tonight, and I will see you guys sometime. She wants dinner because her bowl is empty. See, that's what I talk about when she gets sassy with me. Yeah, see, she's getting all sassy with me. So I better go. So bye everyone, love y'all, and I will see you guys next time.